Hello out there, everybody. Manny here at Area 503. Today I want to talk to you all about some recent science and technology news updates. And we have a lot to cover, so we're going to jump right in. First is an article dated July 17th, 2019, titled, "Quantum Scientists Have Built the First Silicon 2-Qubit Gate Between Atom Qubits."
Wow!
Now, to me, this is a rather lackluster title for an announcement of such an amazing breakthrough in computing technology. Anyhow, in the article, they talk about the basics of quantum computing, and a physicist from Australia was quoted as saying, "A lot of people thought this would not be possible." They then go on by stating that this process has been ongoing since 2015, but that the new version can compute a 2-qubit operation in about 0.8 nanoseconds. Holy crap, that's fast. Apparently the work was trial and error. However, the team discovered that 13 nanometers was the exact distance needed for the two gates. This is extremely detailed work, requiring the utmost precision. And it is truly astonishing to me what people are capable of. By manipulating the electrons of the qubits, the team was able to control the interaction between the gates, turning them off and on. That is the core principle of a computer. Now, in theory, this type of CPU should be scalable, so once the process is perfected, engineers should be able to ramp up this type of quantum CPU. And I wouldn't at all be surprised if, when they do, we learn of a new applicable Moore's Law for the growth of this type of processor. Guess we'll just have to wait and see. In closing, the team states that they hope to build a new 10-qubit gateway sometime in the next 3 to 4 years. So hang on to your hats, everybody. Things are about to start moving at warp speed. Our next piece also has to do with quantum science. Check out this article titled, "Scientists Teleported Quantum Data into the Flawed Heart of a Diamond." A group of scientists from the Yohohama National University recently teleported a light photon into the space in a flawed diamond. And it turns out this was no simple task to accomplish. The team had to attach a tiny wire 1/4 of the width of a human hair to the surface of the diamond. They then applied microwaves and a radio wave to create an oscillating magnetic field around the diamond. By shaping the microwave, the team created the optimal conditions for the transfer of quantum information. Scientists believe that this technology will lead to a completely secure distributed quantum computing network. Virtually instantaneous computers that are 100% unhackable and secure? Well, that sounds friggin' awesome to me, man. I just can't wait to see where this technology leads in the future. And honestly, this reminds me of an article I read back in 2017. That article talked about a team of Chinese researchers who had teleported matter from Earth to a satellite 300 miles above in orbit. Well, beam me up, Scotty.
Aye, Captain.
Well, I don't know how useful this technology is actually going to be in creating the transporters of Star Trek. But it should be key in building a global quantum internet, or so scientists think. I'm going to link to both of these articles in the description for the video, so you all can go and read them for yourselves. But for now, let's move on to our next bit of news, which is this article dated July 18th, with the title of, "Man Keeps Rock for Years Thinking It's Gold. Turns out it's super rare meteorite." The article tells the story of an Australian man named David Hole who found a strange rock while metal detecting back in 2015. He took the rock home and tried to open it, thinking he would find a gold nugget inside. However, despite his best efforts, he was unable to crack open the strange rock. So he put the thing away and a few years later brought it into the Melbourne Museum for identification. At the museum, they identified this rock as a genuine meteorite. Scientists have estimated that the meteorite appears to be roughly 4.6 billion years old, making its origins sometime in the early formation of our solar system. Carbon dating on the meteorite suggests that it crashed to the Earth sometime between 100 and 1,000 years ago, where it sat, waiting patiently for the prospector to find it. Researchers have placed the value of the meteorite extremely high, as these things are super rare. I certainly think that this thing is valuable to scientists because it can help them learn about the formation of our solar system. What do you all think? If you found a rare piece of space rock, how much would you sell it for?
We're not just doing this for money. We're doing it for a shitload of money.
I'm not sure that I would sell it at all, but I would allow researchers access to it for study. Well, let's just hope that that's what this Australian prospector does, and that somehow this meteorite can find its way into the hands of some eager scientists. Let's move on to our final piece, which is this article titled, "Hawaii Declares State of Emergency Amid Protests Over Huge Telescope." The 30-meter telescope, or TMT, is scheduled to be constructed atop Mauna Kea, a peak of about 13,000 feet, which already hosts several telescopes. The article reads, quote, "The TMT is planned to be the largest and most powerful visible light telescope ever, producing images more than 12 times sharper than those from the Hubble Space Telescope." End quote. Mauna Kea is a deeply sacred place that is revered in Hawaiian traditions. It is regarded as a shrine for worship, as a home to the gods. They continue by stating that there has been numerous protests and challenges in court about the telescope over the last few years. Ultimately, it seems that the courts decided to go ahead with the project. This led the protesters to form a rally on July 17th, which halted the construction. The protesters met at the construction site and blocked access to the highway, barring the construction workers from entering. One of the protesters was quoted as saying, "We came to protect our sacred land. There's not much more we have left." Their voices joined the nearly 500 astronomers and students that signed a letter denouncing the criminalization of the protesters and the forceful building of the telescope. The article also states that there is a backup location for the project in the Canary Islands. Now, I just gotta tell y'all that I'm kinda conflicted on this issue. I'm a huge supporter of space exploration, but I'm also a huge supporter of preserving our culture. So to me it seems like the ideal resolution to this topic would be to use the backup location in the Canary Islands to build the telescope. It just seems like a situation where everyone will win. The telescope will be built so scientists will be happy, it won't be on Mauna Kea so the Hawaiians will be happy, and we can all live happily ever after. The end. Well, for now, we're just going to have to wait and see what the fate of the 30-meter telescope is. I, for one, am excited to see this project completed because the TMT is going to teach us so much about the formation of our solar system and our universe. I just hope that they do what I consider to be the right thing and build that sucker down in the Canary Islands. Well, guys, for now, that's all I've got on science and technology updates.
As always, this has been Manny at Area 503. And I wish you all the best until we meet again. And I am out of here to continue my search for universal truth.